Hey guys, welcome back to the Aquarium Library. I'm going to take you guys around and show you guys some more things that are happening here, some more developments with my rainbow shiners. And I actually just got some new fish in yesterday. I have two fish that are spawning, two that I didn't necessarily want to spawn. I want them to spawn, they weren't like on my top list. And then I got the rest of the rack system set up. So I just want to show you guys what's going on and what I'm trying to do here and get on into it. These here, as you see right now, are my rainbow shiners, and I've been trying to really intentionally feed them well. They haven't spawned for me yet, and in talking with the breeder that I got them from, he was sort of surprised they haven't spawned yet either. But I also hadn't been feeding them super heavy because as I was moving and in my busy season at work, I wasn't able to be up on water changes or water quality as much as I would like to. And so I hadn't fed them as much, but they're looking fat and plump now. We'll see. They're some of those females are huge, and so I'm waiting to see spawning behavior in them, and then I'll probably go ahead and put in the spawning material for them. They're actually probably looking for food right now, and so I did have my spawning material in here, which is just rocks with a false bottom that then goes into that same container. And that whole container, I do by handing those full of rocks, goes into the tank, and then they lay their eggs in there, and then they get separated at the bottom, and I can pour it off. But then I took White Cloud Dynasty's advice, and I made one of these that's black on black, and I'll probably just put a couple of pebbles on here whenever it's time to actually try getting them to spawn. I'll put that in the tank and try to catch eggs and actually have them successfully spawn, because I really want to start breeding these. That's what all of these 15 tanks are for, is for these guys basically. I mean, if I have space for my white clouds that I got from my orange tips, I'll put them over there, but that's more or less what this entire racking system is for. And this tank system over here is for breeding rainbow shiners. So I really want to keep working on them and keep getting the colors, the blue spangling in them sooner, and all of that. So it's all dependent upon these guys. They just have to spawn, and they just aren't going. But they're huge, they're plump, and they look like they're ready to go. And I'm just going to keep pumping them full of food, and hopefully there's some nipping of the males at females. So hopefully they will. Some of those females might start going, or I might separate them. I'm not too sure. And this is the aquaponics update. So the basil is taken off tremendously. As you can see, there's four plants in here. There's this main one, secondary one, a third one that's doing okay, and then a fourth one that's really small. And I have some green onions in here that I'm trying out, but they aren't liking it too well. So, but I think eventually I'll put some either pothos or some other type of plant up here to be able to do more nutrient export on this tank, so I don't have to do as many water changes on it, because I'm on city water now instead of well water, and so I think I'll pay my water bill rather than just paying for electricity of the water bill. And 125 gallons water change once a week is not a fun thing to do. So the CPDs in here are growing out well. They are these are the ones that I spawned from that date, and I have about probably 10 left after the move, and they're all getting good size of them now that I'm actually feeding them well and doing water changes. I still have my original spawning group in here. They're going to be a little skittish, and I think I only have one female in there to 5 males, so she's not laying a whole lot, but it is what it is. And hopefully they'll start laying again, and they'll also go over in that tank if I ever get to them spawning, that is. And these guys are the orange tip white clouds from White Cloud Dynasty, and you can see a fry there. There were some fry hanging out. There you go. You can see them on the plants over there and on the walls. And there's another one up there. Now that I separated them out from the white clouds, or the white clouds from the rainbow shiners, they've been spawning like crazy. And Blong was sort of like, you should have moved those sooner. And he's right. I should have moved them sooner, because they are just laying like crazy in here. And I'll have a fairly large colony here in a couple of weeks, and I'll probably take this and replicate it again in this tank, and then let them grow out over there, and then come back and just go back and forth. And once those get big enough in that tank, put them on the rack behind me to be able to free up space to put them back in there, and then actually start being able to select them for those nice orange tips and long fins. And so we'll have to see what they start throwing whenever those fry start growing up. Down here are the shell dwellers. They're still doing well. I actually have a successful batch of fry that actually have raised up. You can see one right there, and there's I think 5 or 6 in this clutch here. And so this pair has actually produced a couple so far that have, this is the first ones that actually made it a decent way. I haven't seen any other pairs in the tank do anything in terms of laying, but there's at least 5 or 6 pairs in here. So I'm looking forward long term for these guys to develop and to actually get a large colony of like 50 or 60. I really do enjoy them. My one splurge and dive into Africans is these, and Chidonga Solosi would be the other one that I want to get, to be able to go either into this 125 at some point once I get the rainbow shiners breeding and their tank set up, or into a 65 or a 40 gallon breeder. And then if we come over here, those are my newest addition. They are the mountain red-bellied dace, and so they are a little skittish right now. They're all in the back, and I'm contemplating moving them in with my rainbow shiners, because I do have 2 of them mixed in over here. There's one there, and then there's a second one somewhere else. There's 2 of them in here though. You'll just have to take my word for it. And they're doing well mixed in with the rainbow shiners. They're not shy at all. They're out and about and not a care in the world. So I might do that once they're done quarantining over there. I might add them into this tank with them, but I kind of don't want to, just to not kill the rainbow shiners for whatever reason. I just don't want to take that risk, because I've gotten them this close and they're fat and plump and ready to go. And so yeah, I think they're just gonna stay over in that 40 gallon breeder. I'm gonna try to figure out some more, probably put those spawning mops in there as cover for them, and then some of these plants maybe even will go over there. And then the final thing for update wise, I actually have this running, the system, and I have a filtration system worked out, which I did not have last time, which is a small little bucket with filter media in there with coarse on top, and then fine down at the bottom. And then I have, whoopsies. And then underneath I have more filter media to be able to go into there, and then my return pump. So this is just a bucket, 5 gallon bucket at the bottom that has a bunch of holes drilled in it to let the water come out, as well. The bucket was split. I never threw it away, and I actually get to use it because it was broken. And this is just a smaller, like 2-pound pail basically, that also has holes drilled in the bottom of it to be able to let water go through it and flow through it. And so I need to figure out a lid for this. I might cut the lid that came with this tote to be able to actually have it working well. But all 15 tanks are up and running, and I have 3 that I need to reseal or just test. So that's about it. The only thing I had for you guys is if you guys would want to see for what all of this, cost me. Honestly, the most expensive thing in building out this fish room has been the fish. Like, there's $100 of fish here. There's, whatever, $200 worth of fish over here, another $100 worth of fish here. And it's like, I built this rack for less than that. I built this rack for like $300, which is insane that it's gonna cost more to fill it with fish than it is to fill it, like to actually build it.